What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can help decide what direction the content on my channel goes in the foreseeable future. Okay, Jacob Fall. A member of the Rob Corps named Jacob has been asking for weeks and weeks for me to make a video on who would win, the Unstoppable Colossus or Worldbreaker Hulk. Now, Jacob says World War Hulk, but I assume he's talking about Worldbreaker Hulk since that's the version that we saw during World War Hulk. Yes, this video's for you, Jacob. Ask enough and you shall receive. In order to be able to effectively answer this question, we need to really kind of run over the powers of what these characters are in their regular forms and then talk about these more powerful versions of their characters. So as most people know, the Hulk is one of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe. Now, due to his exposure to gamma radiation, his cells have been altered in such a way that allows him to become increasingly stronger the angrier he gets. Furthermore, it has been established that there is seemingly no upper limit to how strong the Hulk can become. And just to give you an idea of how strong the Hulk is, he's held up a mountain weighing 150 billion tons in Secret Wars issue number 4 from 1984, and in the Planet Hulk storyline, he's able to prevent a planet from exploding by holding its tectonic plates together. Now, throughout his 50+ years of history, the Hulk has battled several of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe and has emerged victorious in a vast majority of these contests thanks not only to his unparalleled strength, but to his elite level durability and his regenerative healing factor as well. Just to run through some examples of the ridiculous durability of the Hulk, he's twice survived the blast of a gamma bomb in Incredible Hulk number 144 and Tales to Astonish number 62. He survived a nuclear bomb explosion in Incredible Hulk number 440 and has endured an attack from the Human Torch, hitting him at full force with supernova level powers and walked away without a scratch in Fantastic Four number 534. Something to keep in mind, when Johnny Storm pushes his powers to the absolute limit of supernova levels, that's enough power to destroy a planet. Now, there are also several moments where Hulk's extremely potent healing factor is put on display. For example, during an encounter with a villain called Vector, Hulk actually has all of his skin and muscle tissue melted off of his body and is able to regenerate all of it in a matter of moments in Incredible Hulk number 398. During the Future Imperfect story written by Peter David, the Hulk battles an evil future version of himself known as the Maestro. Now, during the battle, Maestro manages to break the Hulk's neck. However, not only does the Hulk not die, but he heals completely within a few days. So while exactly how fast the Hulk can heal does vary depending on who's writing the story, we can definitively say that the Hulk is able to heal from almost any physical injury incredibly fast. Now, to put this into perspective, all these abilities that we've seen here so far are dwarfed by the power of Worldbreaker Hulk. Now, Worldbreaker Hulk was basically a story that resulted from the Incredible Hulk being jettisoned into space by the Illuminati, Charles Xavier, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, under the idea that the Incredible Hulk was too unpredictable. The problem was the Incredible Hulk crash landed on a planet that was basically war-torn. He managed to defeat the existing king, claim one of the members of the guard for his queen, and try to start a family for himself. The problem is that the ship that he arrived on was basically sabotaged, it exploded, and it killed everything he knew and loved. As a result, the Incredible Hulk, as mad as he had ever been, came back to Earth and waged war against almost all the superheroes. Now, in this story, he took on some of the most powerful characters to have ever existed. Doctor Strange, with full power and channeling the energies of gods, was defeated by Worldbreaker Hulk. Colossus, in his metal form, had his arms broken by the Incredible Hulk. The only person who was able to stop him was the Sentry, and even then, all he did was just fight the Incredible Hulk until they both powered down, and that was about it. It was not a definitive, I defeated the Incredible Hulk, I'm the last man standing. Now, this is Worldbreaker Hulk at his absolute peak. What I want to do here is I want to switch over to the Juggernaut. And the reason why is because while Unstoppable Colossus is Colossus, it's that character channeling the power of the Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut draws his power from an object known as the Crimson Gem of Cyttorak, an artifact that bestows immense strength and durability on the person who wields it by channeling the energy of the demon Cyttorak itself. Now, Cyttorak is one of the Elder Gods. He basically existed on Earth long before the dawn of humanity. But due to the idea that the Elder Gods are basically being destroyed and chased off by the original Elder God, kind of a weird story, what ended up happening is Cyttorak took off to a pocket dimension. The result is that Cyttorak Sidorak is a being of immense power, incredible power. If Sidorak were to show up on Earth with the full capabilities on display, almost none of the superheroes would actually be able to stand against him. Now, as the avatar of Sidorak, Juggernaut possesses superhuman strength to the extent that he's been able to break mountains apart like we saw in Hulk number 172 and lift buildings out of the ground and use them as weapons like he did in Uncanny X-Men number 361. The Juggernaut's durability allows him to withstand a massive deal of physical damage, and in addition to this, he's able to use the gem's energy to create a force field that renders him immune to basically any and all physical attacks, even characters as strong as Thor, as Juggernaut's force field was able to shield him from Thor's attacks in Thor number 429, where Odin's son threw a hammer and it just bounced off and nothing happened. Now, in addition to his ability to absorb damage, Juggernaut's able to survive without air, food, or water and does not suffer physical fatigue. For this reason, once Juggernaut begins moving, it is physically impossible to stop him. Furthermore, Juggernaut has an almost instantaneous healing factor for any damage that he does take. And so with that in mind, the Unstoppable Colossus is a byproduct of a story that happened at Marvel called Fear Itself. Now, this story largely centered around the Asgardians in the sense that it was the reveal that Odin had a brother named Kol Borsun, but that Kol Borsun had seen himself as the rightful ruler of Asgard. The result is that Kol, calling himself the Serpent, intended to basically create all these different hammers, fashion an army for himself, and invade Asgard. The problem with this came in the form of Juggernaut. Because of the fact that Cain Marko donned his powers directly from Sidorak, when Cain Marko accepted the hammer, he ultimately became the avatar for a new god. As a result of this, Colossus, Ilyana Rasputin, and a couple others traveled to the Crimson Dimension to meet with Sidorak, inform him of what was going on, and in turn ask that a new avatar be chosen so that somebody could stand against Juggernaut. The result of this is that Sidorak chose Colossus as his new avatar, and in return, Colossus became the Unstoppable Colossus. Now, with the powers of the Juggernaut, he has everything that we've listed so far, with his abilities pushed to the absolute extreme. So he's far stronger than he ever was before, far faster than he ever was before. Once he starts moving, he cannot be stopped. These are the kind of things that we see with his character and just how capable he is. So, to answer the question of Jacob, who would win, Worldbreaker Hulk or Unstoppable Juggernaut, I'm gonna give it to Unstoppable Juggernaut, and here's the reason why. The Incredible Hulk has fought Juggernaut on 2 occasions that I'm aware of. The first was in Incredible Hulk number 402 in 1993, and in this story, Juggernaut had actually just taken the Hulk by surprise. But there's been a litany of instances where the Incredible Hulk is taken by surprise from an enemy and ultimately comes out on top. In this instance, the Juggernaut beat him. But in Incredible Hulk issue number 457, the Incredible Hulk beat the Juggernaut and actually stopped him while he was moving. However, this was not just the Incredible Hulk. This was the Incredible Hulk whose powers were augmented by the villain Apocalypse. Now, in the World War Hulk storyline, Hulk ended up fighting against Juggernaut. However, when Juggernaut came running at him, the Incredible Hulk just used his momentum and threw him out of the way. We did not actually see a direct fist fight between the two of them. So we can't really gauge that and use that as a real explanation of if the two of them ever went toe to toe. But we did end up seeing the Incredible Hulk break the arms of Colossus in his metal form. However, because the Incredible Hulk, under normal circumstances in his normal form, faced off against Juggernaut and lost in issue number 402, there's no reason to believe that if he was able to defeat him in World War Hulk, that he actually would have gone through and fought him in the first place. And so the indication here is that instead of going toe to toe with Juggernaut, he just kind of used the momentum and threw him out of the way. If the Incredible Hulk in World War Hulk had no problem with decimating Reed Richards, Iron Man, Sentry, Black Bolt, all these different superheroes, then why would he basically avoid a fight with the Juggernaut? Why would he just use the Juggernaut's momentum and just send him flying in a different direction? So I would ultimately give this to Unstoppable Colossus. To me, Unstoppable Colossus is channeling the power of a god from another dimension, and the upper limits of this god's power are never known. They've never really been seen before. Conversely, the Incredible Hulk's strength has no upper limit, but that's all the Incredible Hulk has, is increased strength. Unstoppable Colossus has magic. He's got unlimited levels of strength. He's got unlimited levels of durability. He's got unlimited levels of speed and an unlimited regenerative healing factor. So I know this is going to be debated. I know people are just going to be like, boo, hiss, the Incredible Hulk would win. I know people are going to be really, really upset. So let me know down in the comment section who you think would take this. Because again, my vote goes to Unstoppable Colossus, but I know it's going to be a pretty debated topic topic. So let me know who you guys think would come out on top here. Do you think that Worldbreaker Hulk would win, or do you think Unstoppable Colossus would win? But with that being said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and yeah, I will catch you all later. Peace.